Hello Munchkins and viewers alike, it's me Munchie and welcome back to another foster introduction video. If you're new here, I am a foster home for homeless cats and small animals. As of late, I'm doing more of the small animals because I still have my foster cat with me, Oliver, aka Ollie, but I've been rescuing, rehabilitating, and then putting them up for adoption to the right homes. So far I have rehomed both Daisy and Miss Frizzle, and I still have Molly, my foster hamster, here, but I have a new guest at Munchie's place, and that will be the female long-haired Syrian hamster named Zelda. So when I first saw Zelda, I saw her ad online with a mother trying to rehome her son's hamster. There was no picture, and she was saying how her son just doesn't pay any attention to the hamster anymore. She would like to see Zelda going to a good home. When I first talked to the mother, she said the son lost interest, but then we needed to sneak around back to get the hamster because she doesn't want her son knowing. So I was very confused when she said that because I thought, well, if the son doesn't like the hamster, I don't think he would care to see it go. I don't know how old the son was, but if they named the hamster Zelda, you know that they play, The Legend of Zelda. And of course, the mother confirmed that her son did play video games. So I'm estimating the son was probably around 7, 8, or 9 years old. Not so sure. I mean, that's around the time I started to play The Legend of Zelda, even though I wasn't really much of a fan. But anyways, I would think that the son wouldn't care if he saw his hamster go. But she told us we need to come around back to sneak it out. And so when we said hi to her, she was very sweet, and she said that she locked her son in his room. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's Harry Potter all over again, locking children in their rooms. What is this? But I actually really like her just because she had a very happy personality. There's been times when I show up, here's the hamster, bye-bye. And with Miss Frizzle, her family was very nice too. They were just very overwhelmed. But in this case, she was just trying to do the right thing by rehoming the hamster and trying to get it a good home. And she kept telling me over and over again, I should have done this, I should have done that, I should have upgraded the wheel. She doesn't use the wheel. And she was very nice to actually listen to what I said, because I tried to educate her a little bit because I had room to do so because she was so polite and nice and open about it. That I was like, oh yeah, the reason why she's not using her wheel is because this is a 6.5-inch wheel. She's a big girl, so she needs something like a 9 to 10-inch wheel. And she just felt so bad. She's like, oh, is that why she's not running on it? Oh, I feel so bad. Like, she honestly was a very nice person. But the cage they had her in, and they did say that she was about like a year and a half years old. They had her for a while, and you could tell by just the size of her, she's massive. But they had her in such a horrible cage. It's so disgusting. It was so disgusting, but it was very interesting to see really big girl like Zelda being able to fit in tiny little parts of tunnels to go all the way up to her penthouse at the top that apparently detaches and becomes a carrier. But this cage is not for Syrians. It's not even for dwarfs. It's just like a KT critter trail. It only has 99 square inches of floor space, and they really don't need big stackers like the cage I'm about to show you here. And just to let you guys know, she did give me a travel carrier, which was the KT bus carrier, which was so ridiculous. It was very small, and you could tell that she was stressed. And when she told me that the hamster doesn't like going in it, I'm like, yeah, this is a very small carrier. That's probably why. And she's like, oh, I didn't know that. No wonder it always wants to get out when we have it in its carrier. And so, she's a sweetheart. I don't want to, bash her too much, but obviously she definitely needed to do more, and she felt very guilty for it. So at least she learned that maybe in the future, if next time she was to ever get a hamster, or if her son had kids and had a hamster for their grandchildren, that she'll know a little bit more. Anyways, this is the monstrosity that you see here. This is where her little penthouse is, and I actually left the bedding in there because it's so crammed. I don't want to take it out. I don't want to clean it. I tried cleaning this for a presentation for you guys and letting you know when in the car, it completely toppled over and everything fell apart. And I felt so bad because everything was scattered about in our car and I had to clean it up. And oh God, it was terrible. Anyways, the pan right here, it looks like it could probably hold about 2 inches or maybe even 3 inches of bedding, but it's still not that great. There is, as you can see, little level ledges right here. But if you take a look, this is the tunnel that I'm talking to you guys about, where it's just so tiny. How does Zelda get in that? It's just so And there's also a hide in here that I, oops, oh, I got it out, that she went potty in so much that I can't scrape it out. It's really, really bad. So she said she cleaned this thing, you know, at least once every 2 weeks, I think is what she said. But there is some caked on piss in this corner right over here that even I couldn't scrape away. And that's what's really important about doing spot cleanings and doing deep cleans every month, to get rid of piss buildup. So she probably was not taking care of this hamster and maybe relied on her son to take care of it, which now I've just shoved this strawberry back in it because I'm gonna get rid of this whole cage. This is not gonna be for presentation. This is only for you guys seeing what she originally came in, so you know how bad it is. Piss in hide, which is awful. Pissed in corners, which piss won't come out. I tried, I really did. Super duper stuffy wuffy bedding. And again, looking at that tunnel right there, so bad. And of course, this is such a weak plastic. It all fell apart as soon as we took like one slight little turn. One little turn and it slightly fell over and everything broke apart. It was a nightmare. But that's what she came in. And she also had a food bowl in there, a small food bowl, and she did have 2 chews. But I have a bad feeling that these are the only chew toys she had to chew on. And she's probably had them for a very long time. There is the kebab that was hanging in there. As you can see, it got chewed on right, come on, focus on it, right there. But unfortunately, it looks like the colors have faded pretty badly, so it's probably been in here for a while. It might have even been left in when she was going and cleaning the cage because the colors are bleeding onto the yellow. The blue's bleeding to the yellow and it just looks really bad. So I think this has some water damage to it, especially since the wood just doesn't look right. And then the next item, which unfortunately I do see blood on it. I just noticed this now. I mean, I'll tell you a little bit more about Zelda here soon, but this has been chewed to death. See the blood stain right there? Yeah, that's a blood stain. But yeah, that right there is what she chewed on, and she chewed on this, just like an apple. But this definitely looks water damaged because that wood just doesn't look like good wood. It looks like really old and bad and probably wet wood. But I mentioned blood, and I wasn't surprised when I saw blood on there. I've had her for only a week, and 4 days ago when I was inspecting her, I flipped her over and her underside was crusty, and I'm like, what is this? So I looked at it. It was dried red dark blood, and I freaked out. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening? So I took a bunch of pictures and I was doing a bunch of research, and it looks like it could be from her vagina, because her vagina and anus is very close together, unlike males where it's a little bit further apart for their dingy dong and for their hole. When I saw it, I was like, okay, this looks like it's further up north where her vagina would be, not down where her anus should be. So I think it is coming from the vagina. So I consulted with my own pet store first and asked my leader that knows a lot about animals, because he got a degree in zoology. I'm like, hey, what could this be? Showed him the picture, and he asked me first if she was spayed or not. Yes, you can spay your hamsters, but in this day and age, it isn't really that, you know, widely known or widely, you know, practiced where you can spay your hamster. But that was actually talked and discussed about in the forums of, oh, this could be because your hamster's not spayed and it's a female. And usually female hamsters, they don't have periods, and people are thinking this is a period. But then there was another person that said it could have been a cyst that just bursted in her vagina, which of course people do have cysts in their lady parts. But for her, she could have had something like a hamster cyst bursted, and that's why. But then again, just last night, unfortunately, she did start bleeding again, because it went away. She licked it up and it went away and it looked fine for a couple days, and then she started bleeding again. I was just really freaked out because I'm like, okay, this is not okay. Something is not okay. Something must be wrong. So the other thing that I looked up was that it could be that she might have an infection going on, and that might be why she's constantly bleeding. So I just have hope that it is an infection, but at the same time, I don't want it to be an infection. But it is scary to think that if your hamster is bleeding from any parts of their body, it would be really serious. So I called my vets today, and unfortunately my vet that sees hamsters is booked 2 weeks in advance. And so I'm like, oh my God, I have to get my hamster in. So this has probably been going on for longer than I've had her for. And so when I tried calling around to other vets, being very frantic about this whole bleeding thing. There's a lot of people that said they don't see hamsters. There's a lot of people that said, oh yeah, we're very booked in advance too. We do see them, but yeah, you don't have any luck trying to find a vet that will see you right now because we're all full. So it's been full. There was a potential, but their voicemail said, our vet tech is on vacation right now and won't be back until the 24th. And I'm like, oh my God, no! If this has been going on for a while, it might just be something else where it could be that she has a very deadly hamster disease. Now, there was another disease online that started with the letter P, and they said that this is a disease that will slowly kill a hamster. So I don't know if I'm going to be fostering her or if I'm going to have to keep her, because if this is serious and if she does require medical attention all the time or sometimes, I would probably have to keep her and not be able to rehome her. But as of right now, she is my foster hamster, yes. The vet that I talked to that isn't my vet that I go to, she did say that they can see the hamster next week. So I am probably, if I don't hear anything back from them, because they said, well, we could always have somebody not show up and you could get their time slot. So if she doesn't call me by tomorrow, I'm gonna set up an appointment for seeing the vet in a week's time, but she is going to go down to one, and just crossing fingers for her that everything's gonna be okay. If not, she's going to be my Zelda, and I love her so much already. She's been very sweet with me, very slow, but very happy, because right as I put her in her new cage, she started running on her wheel and she loved it. And I showed pictures to the old owner, and the old owner was very happy. She's like, oh man, I feel so bad that she didn't run on her wheel, but I'm so glad that you had a big enough wheel for her. Thank you for taking her. Very sweet lady. So that is foster Syrian hamster Zelda. I hope you guys enjoyed, and also if you guys have previously owned hamsters and had a similar problem where they are bleeding from the vagina, please let me know, just because I want to hear your thoughts on it or hear what you got diagnosed with for your hamster. You're not a vet, so this could be completely something different, but I'm definitely going to professional and seeing what this could be. But I would like to hear more things about hamsters, because we have a lot to learn about these guys and their issues. And if we know more and we learn more about their conditions, we could probably help out future hamsters in the future and future pet owners too. So thanks guys so much. If you liked the video, hit like to show your support for Zelda, comment down below if you'd like to say anything, and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos from me and become a part of the Munchie family, and also follow along with the foster and rescue journeys that we have here at Munchie's Place. So thanks guys for everything, and don't forget to check out the Instagram for Munchie's Place for homeless pets, because that is my foster Instagram. So if you do have Instagram, check that out for pictures and updates, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye!